Now, one thing I always mention to my students is you need to know what the initial parent graph is going to look like. If you're going to be graphing any type of function, it's important to make sure you know the basic size and shape of your original function or parent graph. And whenever we're wanting to create that graph, it's always good to be able to refer or always fall back to on a table. And a typical table that we would start in a classroom is going to have the input of -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, but that is going to adjust. It's going to adjust based on the functions, and it's going to adjust based on the equation or the transformations that we're going to apply to our function. But if I was just to say a blanket slate here, I would say use this table. Now, if you don't understand what these numbers represent, these are going to represent our input values, the numbers we're going to plug into our function or the x values, and then our y is going to represent our output values and the value that we're going to get. So I'm going to kind of work through these on all of them. I already kind of pre-made all the exact quadratics I want to work through. So therefore, when you have a function that has multiple transformations or multiple numbers embedded with it, you can still follow along with this process. But I'm going to focus on basic transformations. So therefore, we can summarize everything together at the end of this video. So let's get in with this first one to create this. So in this case, I'm going to have -2 for x. What is going to be my y? So all I'm simply going to do is plug in -2 in for x and then square it. Now, -2 squared is going to give me a +4. So I'm going to put a 4 over here. And then on my graph, I'm going to go to -2, which represents the x-coordinate, and then 4, which is going to represent the y-coordinate. And that point is going to be represented right there. Now, I'll work through these a little bit slower, but you'll see me start to pick up here as we get to these, because this could be a lot. And if you want to actually expedite this, this kind of process, I love using Desmos for a problem like this. And actually in the classroom, I'd probably have all of these inputted into Desmos and then just kind of look at it on a screen so students can kind of see that. But I also think there's something very helpful and inherent about working through these individually so you can exactly see and you have that process of understanding what these numbers are doing to transform this graph. But first, again, let's continue on. So the next one, I'll just work through -1. So I'll place a -1 in for x. -1 squared is going to give me a +1. So at -1, I'm going to go up to 1. And then I'll have a y sub 0. Now, obviously, anything, 0, anything, oh, sorry, that's +1. 0 squared is always going to be 0. And now the cool thing about the quadratic, ladies and gentlemen, is I'll show you this in this part, but as I mentioned, we'll start going through this a little bit quicker. It doesn't matter if I'm dealing with a -1 or a +1, right? Because when we square something, it's always going to give us that positive value. So just like -1 squared is +1, +1 squared is going to be a 1. So we have the 0 here, and then we have that 1 over here. And so therefore we can follow a line of what we have as something called symmetry. And that's going to be really, really important for us to understand as we're graphing a quadratic. We actually don't need to know the whole quadratic shape. We just need to know 1/2 of that symmetry line. So in this case, we have 2 squared, which is going to give me a 4. So then I go over to 2 and I'll have a 4. Now I can nicely go ahead and connect these dots as best as I can. And this graph is going to continue, right? We could continue this table with -3, -4, -5, right? But it's going to continue this shape. Now there's a couple important points though I do want to highlight for this. This minimum point, this lowest point we have here, that is what we call the vertex, all right? And there's a couple different ways we can represent the vertex, but it's important just for this parent graph that you understand that it's at the point 0, 0. The other thing is that this graph has what we call a line of symmetry. And that line of symmetry goes through the vertex and it splits the quadratic or the U-shaped graph right in half. Whatever's on the left side is going to be, if you fold it over, it's going to match over here on the right side. I think I said the right one. Left side, flip it over to the right side.